My girlfriend said, "This is who I am, take it or leave it." After months of disrespectful behavior, I said, "I'll leave it," and started packing her things. She followed me around the house asking, "What are you doing?" And then I kicked her out. I, 29 male, was cleaning the kitchen when my girlfriend Aria, 27, walked in and dropped her wine glass in the sink. It shattered. She looked at the mess, shrugged, and started walking away. "Hey, you gonna clean that up?" I asked. She turned around, annoyed. "I'll get to it later." "There's literally broken glass in the sink. I'm doing dishes right now." "So? Do them later then." This was typical Aria. We'd been together 2.5 years, living together for 1. The disrespect had been building for months, leaving messages everywhere, talking down to me in front of people, flirting with other guys right in front of me, treating my house like a hotel. "Aria, can you please just clean it up? Takes 2 seconds." She rolled her eyes so hard I thought they might fall out. "Oh my God, you're so dramatic." "Fine." She grabbed a paper towel, picked up exactly 2 pieces of glass, threw them in the trash, and left the rest. "Seriously?" That's when she spun around, hands on hips, and delivered the line that would end everything. "You know what? This is who I am. Take it or leave it. I'm not changing for anybody." I looked at her, really looked at her, standing there in designer clothes I'd bought in the house I paid for, with that smug expression like she just dropped some profound wisdom. "Okay," I said calmly. "I'll leave it." Her smirk faltered. "What?" I dried my hands on the dish towel and walked past her to the bedroom, started pulling her clothes out of the closet. "What are you doing?" She followed me, voice pitched higher. "Packing your things." "Packing my... Are you serious right now?" "Dead serious." I grabbed her suitcase from the top shelf, the one I'd bought her for our trip to Miami last year, started folding her clothes neatly, placing them inside. "Babe, stop. I didn't mean... You're overreacting to broken glass." "No, I'm reacting to months of disrespect that just culminated in you telling me this is who you are. I believe you." She stood there, mouth opening and closing like a fish. I moved efficiently, clothes from the dresser, shoes from the closet, jewelry from the nightstand. "You can't kick me out. I live here." "You stay here. Your name isn't on the mortgage, the lease, or any bills. You're a guest who's overstayed their welcome." "Where am I supposed to go?" "That's a you problem. You've got plenty of friends you're always running off with instead of spending time with me. Call one of them." I moved to the bathroom, packing her 17 different face creams and serums. The ones she bought with my credit card without asking. "This is illegal. You have to give me 30 days. Only if you're a tenant. You pay no rent, get no mail here, and aren't on any documents. You're a guest." She tried a different approach. Tears. "Baby, please, let's talk about this. I love you. If this is how you treat people you love, I'd hate to see how you treat enemies." I zipped up the suitcase, grabbed the garbage bags I'd filled with her stuff, and headed for the living room. She trailed behind, alternating between anger and manipulation. "You're going to regret this. I was just stressed from work. My friends were right about you. Please don't do this. You're such a child." I placed her things by the door and pulled out my phone. "You can call someone to pick you up, or I can call you an Uber. Your choice. I'm not leaving. This is my home too." "No, it's not. And if you refuse to leave, I'll call the police and have you removed for trespassing." She stared at me, probably trying to figure out if I was bluffing. I wasn't. I was done. Done with the disrespect, the entitlement, the attitude. "Fine." She grabbed her phone. "Cassidy, I need you to come get me. My boyfriend is having some kind of mental breakdown." 20 minutes later, her best friend Cassidy pulled up. As Aria dragged her stuff outside, she turned back one last time. "You're making the biggest mistake of your life. No one else will put up with you like I did." "Put up with me? I paid for everything while you treated me like garbage. But you're right. No one else will put up with that. That's why you're leaving." She slammed the door. I went back to the kitchen, carefully cleaned up the broken glass she'd left, and finished the dishes in peace. First time in months I'd smiled while cleaning. But this was just the beginning. See, Aria had gotten very comfortable with the lifestyle I provided. She was about to learn what "this is who I am" really costs when the person funding your life takes you at your word. Update 1, 72 hours later. The entitlement escalation was swift and predictable. Aria had spent 2.5 years getting comfortable with a lifestyle she contributed nothing to. Reality hit different when the bank of boyfriend closed. Day 1, the realization. The morning after I kicked her out, the text started, 7:23 a.m. My card got declined at Starbucks. What did you do? Of course, she'd been an authorized user on my credit card, removed her that same night. 8:5 Hello? Fix this now. This is financial abuse. Are really gonna leave me stranded with no money? I didn't respond, but I did check my credit card activity. Girl had been spending $400 to $500 a month on coffee, brunches, and random shopping. My coffee maker at home apparently wasn't good enough. Day 2, the social media spin. By day 2, she'd crafted her victim narrative on Instagram, posted a series of stories when toxic men can't handle independent women. Sleeping on couches, but at least I'm free. He really kicked me out for being myself. The audacity. Her friends ate it up. Comments flooded in about knowing your worth and toxic masculinity. But then something interesting happened. My buddy Marcus's girlfriend Jade was in Aria's comments, and Jade had receipts. Jade posted, "Girl, didn't you literally brag last week about how he pays for everything while you save your money?" Aria deleted the comment. Jade screenshot it first and sent it to the group chat. Day 2 afternoon. Got a call from Verizon. Aria was trying to transfer her line off my family plan to her own account. Problem? She needed to pay off the iPhone 14 Pro Max I'd bought her. Balance, $847. She couldn't afford it. Called me crying. "Please just let me transfer the line. I'll pay you back." When have you ever paid me back for anything? I'll start now. I promise. No, then what am I supposed to do? Get your own phone plan with your own phone. I can't afford a new phone. Then you should have thought about that before telling me to take it or leave it. She hung up. An hour later, she was tweeting from Cassidy's phone about controlling exes who weaponize finances. Day 3, the job reality. Here's what Aria didn't want people to know. Worked 15 hours a week at a yoga studio. Not teaching, just checking people in. Minimum wage plus free classes, that's it. Total monthly income, maybe $600. Her lifestyle included weekly manicures, $80. Monthly hair appointments, $200 plus. Pilates membership, $150. Shopping sprees, $500. Dining out constantly, $600 plus. All funded by yours truly while she saved her pittance for emergencies, aka music festivals with her girls. Day 3, her boss at the yoga studio called me. I was still her emergency contact. "Hi, is this about Aria? Is she okay?" "She's fine, but she listed you as a reference for a pay advance. We don't typically do those." "A reference for a pay advance? That's creative." "No, I can't vouch for that." I figured. She seems stressed lately. Stressed was one word for it. By evening of day 3, staying with Cassidy was already going south. See, Cassidy lived in a studio apartment with her boyfriend. 3 adults and 500 square feet wasn't working. Aria called from Cassidy's phone. "I need to come get more of my stuff." "What stuff?" "I packed everything. My hair tools, my supplements, all in the bags I gave you." "Well, I need my yoga mat then." "The one I bought?" "No. It's mine. Receipt says otherwise." "You're being petty." "I'm being factual. You said this is who I am about someone who leaves broken glass for others to clean up. I'm just maintaining boundaries with who you are." Cassidy's boyfriend grabbed the phone. "Bro, can she just get the mat? She's driving us crazy here." "Not my problem, Brad. She made her choice." Heard him mutter, 3 more days of this? Before hanging up. Aria's parents lived 3 hours away. We'd met a few times. Nice people who seemed puzzled by their daughter's entitlement. They called me day 3. Her mom, Deb. "Ezra, honey, what happened?" "Aria says you threw her out over a wine glass." "That was just the final straw, Deb. She's been disrespectful for months. Leaves messes everywhere, talks down to me, treats me like an ATM." Silence. Then her dad, Grant. "Sounds familiar. That's why she can't move back here." "Grant," Deb scolded. "What? It's true. She lived here after college and did the same thing. We're not doing that again." So even her parents had boundaries. Interesting. By end of day 3, Aria was already fishing for a new meal ticket. Posted a thirst trap on Instagram, bikini pic from our Miami trip that I paid for. With caption, "Ready for my next chapter." Within hours, she was DMing with some crypto bro named Chase, who'd been lurking in her likes. My friend Jerome sent me screenshots. Chase was inviting her to dinner, offering to treat her like a queen. Good luck, Chase. Hope you've got deep pockets and no self-respect. Current status after 72 hours, homeless, couch surfing. Phoneless, can't afford to pay off the iPhone. Broke, that $600 a month doesn't stretch far. Desperate, already hunting for the next sucker. still posting about being a bad bitch who knows her worth. Meanwhile, I deep cleaned my house. Amazing how clean it stays when one person isn't actively destroying it. Saved $167 just in 3 days of not funding her lifestyle. Slept better than I have in months. Started therapy to figure out why I tolerated this for so long. The wine glass wasn't the issue. It was the symbol of everything. The carelessness, the disrespect, the expectation that I'd always clean up her messes, literal and figurative. She was right about one thing. That is who she is. And I'm grateful she finally admitted it. Update 2 coming soon. Heard through the grapevine she's about to learn what knowing your worth really means when you have no worth to offer. Update 2, 2 weeks later. The descent from bad bitch to harsh reality was faster than a crypto crash. When the couchsurfing welcome wore out and the Instagram facade cracked, Aria's true situation became apparent to everyone. Lasted exactly 5 days at Cassidy's place. The breaking point? Aria brought Chase, crypto bro, back to the studio apartment at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, in a 500 square foot space, where Cassidy and Brad were trying to sleep. Brad lost it, told Aria she had 1 hour to pack and get out. Cassidy tried to defend her bestie until Aria said, "It's not my fault, you two are too poor for a real apartment." Cassidy's response? Threw Aria's bags in the hallway and deadbolted the door. After burning the Cassidy bridge, Aria had no choice but to call her parents. Deb called me, frustrated. She wants to move home but refuses to follow our rules. No overnight guests, get a full-time job, pay rent. She said we're being financially abusive. Where did we go wrong? You didn't, Deb. She just never faced consequences before. We enabled her, didn't we? Always bailing her out. Maybe, but it's never too late to stop. They held firm. Aria couldn't move home without agreeing to their terms. She refused. Chase seemed like Aria's golden ticket. Drove a leased BMW, talked big about his NFT investments, posted hustle culture quotes. They went on 3 dates. Date 1, fancy steakhouse. He paid. She posted about being treated like the queen I am. Date 2, rooftop bar. He forgot his wallet. She had to pay with her last $47. Date 3, he invited her to his place. His penthouse was his mom's basement. The BMW? His mom's. The crypto fortune? Down 97%. She still stayed the night because she had nowhere else to go. With no phone, limited computer access, and spotty employment history, Aria's job search wasn't going well. Retail stores wanted full availability. She could only work around her yoga studio schedule. Office jobs wanted experience. She had none. Restaurants wanted reliability. Her references, when contacted, mentioned her chronic lateness. She applied to 30-plus jobs, got 2 interviews, showed up to one in clubwear because that's all I have at Chase's place. Didn't get callbacks. Her Instagram started telling a different story. Week 1, living my best life. Week 2, anyone know of job openings? Looking for management roles only. Week 3, why is rent so expensive? This economy is trash. The likes dwindled. Comments stopped. Even her flying monkeys got quiet when she started posting Cash App requests for girl help, girl out. Day 10, she showed up at my house at 11 p.m. in an Uber she couldn't afford. "We need to talk," she announced when I opened the door. "No, we don't. Please leave." "I'm not leaving until you hear me out. Then I'll call the police." "Just 5 minutes, please." I started to close the door. She wedged her foot in it. "I know I messed up, okay? I was stressed and took it out on you. But we had something special. We had me paying for everything while you disrespected me. That's not special. I'll change. I'll get a real job. I'll be better. Aria, you told me who you are. I believed you. Go be that person somewhere else." "Where? I have nowhere to go. Chase's mom kicked me out. My parents won't help. Cassidy blocked me. I'm sleeping in the yoga studio." And the Uber driver honked. "Lady, are you coming back? Meter's running." "I don't have any money," she wailed. I pulled out my phone. "I'll add tip if you leave with her now." The driver was at my door in seconds. "Ma'am, let's go." As he guided her away, she screamed, "You're heartless. I hope you're happy. You ruined my life." "No, Aria. You ruined your life when you decided basic respect was optional." Her boss at the yoga studio, Kim, called me the next day. "I'm sorry to bother you, but did Aria used to live with you?" "Until 2 weeks ago, yes. She's been sleeping in the studio. I can't have that. I have to let her go." "That's unfortunate for her." "She said you made her homeless over broken glass?" I ended our relationship after months of disrespect, culminating in her telling me this is who she is when asked to clean up broken glass she left in my sink. "Ah, that makes more sense. She does leave the studio a mess every shift." So even her $600 a month income was gone. By day 14, unemployed. Homeless? Actually homeless, not couchsurfing. Blocked by most friends after asking for money. Parents requiring therapy and full-time employment to move home. Posted a GoFundMe that raised $23 from her mom. DMing random dudes on Instagram, offering to be a live-in girlfriend. Meanwhile, I hired a cleaning service with the money I saved from not funding her lifestyle. Started dating Phoebe, who insisted on splitting our first date bill. Got promoted at work, turns out I'm more focused without constant drama. Felt peace in my own home for the first time in months. Yesterday, got a notification that someone tried to reset my Netflix password. Then Hulu, then HBO Max. Girl was desperately trying to access streaming services to watch from wherever she was squatting. Changed all my passwords and security questions. Removed her email from everything. Got one last text from a random number. I hope we're happy. Living in a shelter because of you. This is who I am, remember? Someone you threw away like garbage. I didn't respond. But I did think, no, Arya. You're someone who threw away a good relationship because you couldn't do the bare minimum of human decency. You're someone who thought, this is who I am, was a flex instead of a warning. You were right. That is who you are. And that's exactly why you're where you are. Final update coming soon. Heard she might have found a new boyfriend. We'll see how long that lasts when he realizes who she is. Final update. 1 month later. The conclusion of Arya's story is exactly what you'd expect from someone who proudly declared, this is who I am, while being absolutely terrible. Turns out actions really do have consequences. After her last desperate text, Arya did end up in a women's shelter, but not for long. Got kicked out after a week for refusing to do assigned chores, stealing another resident's phone charger, bringing a man into the facility against rules, telling staff they were beneath her. The shelter director, Carmen, knew my cousin who volunteered there. Small world. Carmen said in 20 years, she'd never seen someone fumble free housing and job placement assistance out of pure arrogance. Desperate times, desperate measures. Arya joined a sugar baby website, created a profile claiming she was a yoga instructor and entrepreneur, looking for a generous gentleman who appreciates luxury. Problem? The actual sugar daddies on there are businessmen who can spot BS instantly. She got 3 meets. 1. Guy 1 asked about her business. She couldn't explain what she actually did. He left before appetizers. 2. Guy 2 Googled her during dinner. Found her Instagram begging for money, paid for his own meal and left. 3. Guy 3 turned out to be married. His wife showed up at the restaurant. Chaos ensued. Arya got banned from that restaurant. Week 3, she found him. Dexter. 45, divorced, lonely, and apparently blind to red flags. Met him at a gas station where she was asking people for gas money. He rescued her, let her move into his condo within 3 days of meeting. Started posting couple pics immediately. Sometimes your king comes when you least expect it. My friend Terrence lived in the same complex. Kept me updated. She trashed his place within days. Had loud parties while he was at work. He bought her a new phone, Android, not iPhone. She complained publicly. She was already flirting with his neighbor. Arya's parents reached out one last time. They'd been in therapy themselves, working through their enabling patterns. Grant, we wanted to thank you actually. Me. For what? Deb, for showing us we weren't helping her by always bailing her out. She needed to face consequences. We've told her therapy and a job are non-negotiable if she wants our help. She refused. They sounded sad but resolved. Sometimes loving someone means letting them hit rock bottom. Lasted 17 days. 17 days. Here's the speed run. Day 5, he asked her to clean up after herself. She gave him the "this is who I am" speech. Day 8, he found out she wasn't working, wasn't looking for work, and was using his credit card without permission. Day 11, came home early, found her in bed with his neighbor. She tried to gaslight him. We never said we were exclusive. Day 14, he asked her to leave. She refused, claimed tenant rights. Day 16, he formally evicted her. Day 17, she called the cops claiming domestic violence. They reviewed his security footage showing her as the aggressor, threw a plate at him. She got arrested instead. Remember that arrest? Turns out Arya had a warrant from an unpaid ticket from last year. One I'd offered to pay, but she said she'd handle it. She didn't handle it. Now she had assault charges, the plate throwing, filing a false police report, the warrant. Bail was set at $20,500. She had $3.47 in her account. Called me from jail. Called me from jail. Please, I know you hate me, but I need help. I'll pay you back. With what money, Arya? I'll get a job, I promise. Please, it's scary in here. You know what was scary? Living with someone who had zero respect for me or my home. Good luck. Please, I'm sorry. No, you're sorry, you're facing consequences. There's a difference. I hung up. She served 5 days, charges reduced, time served. Got out to find Dexter had packed her stuff and left it at the shelter. The shelter wouldn't take her back. Her parents still required therapy and employment. Every bridge thoroughly burned. Last I heard through the grapevine, living in a sketchy motel, paid week to week. Working at a car wash, only place that didn't check references. Still posting about being a boss babe between shifts. DMing every man who likes her photos. Telling people I ruined her life over nothing. It's been a month since that wine glass shattered in my sink. In that time, saved over $2,000 from not funding her lifestyle. Deep cleaned and reorganized my entire house. Started seeing Phoebe regularly. She cooked me dinner last night. Got commended at work for increased productivity. Felt actual peace in my own home. Phoebe asked about my ex recently. I told her the whole story. Her response? So she really looked you in the eye and said, "This is who I am." While being awful, that's like a bank robber saying I'm a thief, deal with it, and being shocked when they get arrested. Exactly. The lessons: 1. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. 2. Take it or leave it is a valid offer. You can actually leave it. 3. Love isn't cleaning up someone's broken glass, literal or metaphorical. 4. People who say "this is who I am" as a defense are usually telling the truth. 5. The best response to ultimatums is often accepting them. This morning, 1 year after we first met, Arya sent one last message from someone's phone. I know you'll never forgive me, but I wanted you to know I'm in therapy now. Court ordered, but still. I realize I was toxic and entitled. I took you for granted. I thought being real meant being selfish. I was wrong. You deserved better. I hope you found it. Did I respond? No. Do I believe she's changed? Also no. Court-ordered therapy isn't growth, it's consequence management. But I do hope she figures it out. Not for me, but for whoever she dates next. Maybe the next guy won't tolerate 2.5 years of disrespect before walking away. As for me, I'm sitting in my clean kitchen with no broken glass in the sink, making dinner for someone who appreciates effort and reciprocates respect. Someone who would never dream of saying "this is who I am" as an excuse for bad behavior. Life's good when you take people at their word and act accordingly. Thanks for following this journey, Reddit. Remember, you're not asking too much by expecting basic human decency. You're just asking the wrong person. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a drama-free evening to enjoy.